You know, timing is everything, or is it? Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, we lead, and we inspire. And I was thinking today about timing. A couple of reasons. First of all, let's talk about this channel. You know, my purpose in this channel is to prepare my son, the incredibly fabulous Eli, so that when he's ready to rock and roll and get out there in the real world, away from academia, that he's going to have all the tools that he needs in order to get where he wants to go. Unfortunately for me, my timing isn't so good because I'm a senior. Eli is 16 and a half, and at 16 and a half, you're not thinking about the future. You're thinking about the immediate present. You're thinking about girls. You're thinking about basketball. I wish you'd be thinking more about school, but I digress. My point is, so what do you do when the timing isn't exactly right? Something to think about. Now, you know, I got on this thought this morning because I went to the grocery store. And, you know, there's a grocery store that's relatively close, and then there's one that I go to every once in a while for the big shop, where they have all the goodies that you could possibly want. You know, you go to the local one, and then when you go for the big shop, well, today was the day I went for the big shop. Now, sometimes I go, you know, the store opens 6 o'clock in the morning, and when I go at 6 o'clock in the morning, who's there in the store? Just old people like me. So, the store is relatively uncrowded. People are all over the place, but there's not that many of them, and they're moving slowly. Today, I went at 8:30 or so. Now, who's in the store at 8:30? The people in the store at 8:30 are the people that are the go-getters. All right? I got to go shopping. I want to go here. They're in a rush. They have something they need to do. They're going at 8:30 because I need to get this done. As opposed to going at, let's say, noontime or 1 o'clock. You go at that time, and what do you have? You have the moms with the kids. The store is very crowded. Everybody's moving very slowly. All right? But I ran into some difficulty today because, and this is a huge store, and I go in there, and everybody's rushing. Those are the people that are in there. That's the clientele that goes in there 8 to 8:30 in the morning. So I'm polite. I'm not in a particular rush. I let this one go by, I let that one go by. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is a lot easier when I do it real early in the morning. I wish I would have woken up earlier and got up and go and went shopping then. But I didn't. So I made the best of it. I still got done. I ran into roadblocks, but I still made the best of it. You know, timing in life is a critical thing. Now, Eli, you know this as somebody that occasionally passes the basketball, that you got to get the ball to the guy right at the right time, right when he has the opening, because if you're too late, then the defense has a chance to react. And you come up with nothing. So the point is, when you decide you're going to do something, you've got to, having the right timing is a good idea. As an example, you know, when I used to live in the San Jose area, which is one of the traffic hotbeds of the universe, I used to kind of time myself. I was going in the non-traffic direction in the morning, and as a result, in the evening, I would go in the non-traffic direction going back. I'd be driving, and I'd be going at a pretty good clip, and on the other side of the highway, I see it's bumper to bumper to bumper to bumper, and it's like, my goodness, I'm really glad I'm going in the non-traffic direction. Everybody thinks of things like that. You try and do things when you're not going to be overwhelmed with the crowds. You try and do things so that you can get the most done in the smallest amount of time. Timing is critical. The key point, though, is you have to be ready. You have to be ready. Take our friend Tom Brady, the GOAT of football. He was sitting on the sidelines, and the quarterback that was in front of him, you know, I mean, nobody knew who he was. He's like the 199th pick in the draft. He's sitting there but he was prepared. He was ready to rock and roll. And when that quarterback, Drew Bledsoe, got hurt, he stepped in and he was able to take advantage because he was ready. The timing, according to the coaches, wasn't right. We'd like to season him a little bit more, but push came to shove, he had to go in. You create your own timing. Understand that you can still get the job done. One of my first mentors, Mr. Mutnick, used to tell me, he said, you know, a lot of people talk about owning their own businesses. And when they do that, they say, well, I think I'll wait till next year when the economy gets better and the situation changes and so on and so forth. And he said, you know what, Eli's dad, that's the wrong type of thinking. You've got the idea, you've got the motivation, go now. You'll make the timing work for you. What am I getting at here? Many of you out there are sitting at home, COVID-related issues keeping us from doing things that we want to do. But the point is, be ready to go. Be ready when the time comes and take some steps. And once you do that, you'll see that the lanes will open up for you and you'll be able to advance your cause a little bit at a time. Timing is such a critical thing, but don't use it as an excuse and say to yourself, well, the timing isn't right, the timing isn't right. Make the timing right. Create the circumstances that make the timing right. You know, one of the sayings that I'm counting on, and I know it's true, that I'm counting on with this channel for my son Eli, who is not ready right now to learn the things that we've been teaching. But there's an old saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, the steps that I'm taking is I want to make sure that when the student is ready, when Eli is ready, when he starts to see the importance of the things that we're talking about here, that he will have the tools necessary that he can go through if I'm not available to give him the one-on-one because of our age difference, that he'll still be able to go because we've put it on a video that he can watch, that he can learn from. This is such a critical thing that once the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I have a question for you. Are you ready to go from the 95% crowd to the 5% crowd? Then what are you waiting for? Take a hold of these lessons that we're going through in these videos. Take them to heart. They're blueprints on how to succeed. Copy the procedures because they are timeless. Timing is everything, but some things are timeless. So, once again, keep in mind, timing is everything on the one hand, but on the other hand, you create your own opportunities, and once you get going, you'll be able, it may take you a little bit longer, but the point is, once you get going, the lanes will open up and you'll start to be able to see the finish line, but you've got to get started. That's our story on timing today, because we never end a meeting on a philosophical note. Let's all get out there, take some time, and charge! I'm Eli's dad.